So it's the power of love.
No.
Yeah, isn't that unusual? So much resistance around
It's just so funny.
the power of love. It is, isn't it? You can try. Don't try your best. Just do.
Okay,
just
well,
do you.
No.
To understand the power of love, like what does that even mean? It sounds nice. There's lots of beautiful songs written about it. You know, like it's almost like a catchphrase. The power of love. So let's look at it from a yogic, a humanology point of view. So love is the power that creates everything. You can almost put creator, God, source, love together. Okay? Because love is what makes the flowers blossom. Love is the cycle of life. You know, and the best way to experience that is through a child, a baby. That's pure love. And so that's pure creation. Okay, and then we become human beings and we become separated from source. And so therefore we start to get separated from love. And then we realize that we're even separated from our parents. And that happens at what age? Like that happens really young when we start to actually recognize our mother's face. When we're an infant, and as soon as we start to recognize our mother's face, we go, oh, we're not her, we're separate. And that journey of separation removes us from that real deep embodiment of love, because we are love. Everything is love. And then we add in emotions and feelings and then conditioning, where, you know, you do really good at school and you get a really awesome report card and your parents tell you how much they love you because you've done really good. What we perceive love to be is conditional love.
Yes.
And any love in any human form, even in animal form, is conditioned. So what we perceive to be love is an emotion that comes with conditions. And because that's what we're told is love, that's what we experience is love, when we see that magnificent sunrise and everything else falls away, we don't realize that waheguru, that bliss, that ecstasy we're experiencing in that moment is love. Too many fairy tales, way too many conditionings, way too many things about what love is. That's what we perceive love to be, is that he's a friend, he's a male, so therefore there's a condition that requires sex. Or whatever it is, you know. Father-daughter, like I remember it took me so long to break that down, is that I was a good girl that did what my father said and let him control, and then I became a teenager and that didn't go too well, but then I sort of just allowed that to be, and then realized that as an adult, especially when I had links and that pattern was repeating, that I had to say, no, you cannot. And my dad's a loving person, like he's a beautiful, beautiful person, but he controls through negativity. And when he was doing that with Lynx and he wouldn't stop, and Lynx was really little, I became Mama Bear and said, you can't see him until you change that negativity. So that love was all conditionally based. The love for my child was, I don't want to subject him to unnecessary negativity. The love of my father was that this is impacting on our relationship, so I'm staying away until it changes, but it's all conditioned. Going into source so that we can have an experience of what it means to actually feel the power of love. Filtered through the emotional body and the sensory body, then all of a sudden it becomes manipulative, it becomes passive aggressive, it becomes, power struggles instead of the purity. And the thing is, don't interpret that as what we've got as love is not right, because it's our human conditioned,
It's a
you know,
part,
and
yeah.
look how blessed we are to be here and to experience life as a human being. Like, that's an
Exactly.
incredible miracle and blessing. A list of how many different forms of love there is. And it goes from toxic love to, like, it's quite an incredible list of human experiences of love are seeking to return to source.
Yes, yes.
And for our soul to take this human journey, it does need to return to source, because that's what the journey is. So that's what our loving relationships are teaching us. It's teaching us what parts of us feel very open and liberated and empowered when we are experiencing the truth of somebody else. And what happens though when that truth and our truth doesn't quite gel? Or what happens when I lose my center and something has to be expressed, but I know that that expression is going to hurt the other person, but it's my truth to say it. And so we're complicated beings. We can't just sit there going, I'm blissing out over the power of love, because we've been gifted with the sensory system. It's the power of love that's driving our ability to be true to ourselves, to know ourselves, and to really open up that compassion, and the compassion to ourselves, and then the compassion to others. And that's what the power of love is. Matt Kahn's teachings really help with, and it would be really powerful for you to read that book, Whatever Arises, Love That, which was Matt Kahn's first book, because of that notion, and that helps you start to integrate the power of love in a really simplistic way. So if things are coming up and you didn't want to go there, but they're there, love the fact that they've come up, love the fact that they're making you feel horrible, love the fact that you don't want to face it, because what that does then, it makes you feel that you've got your own back. Instead of, and that's such a simplistic practice, but so hard, just to really allow that power of love to start to be the truth that it is, instead of the conditioning that we believe love is. But it's all love. You can't recognize God in everything, you can't recognize God at all. And that's the real hard thing about the power of love. Because how can it all be love?
Yeah.
Because what the bad times, the bad experiences, the heaviness does, allows you to grow and develop a self-compassion for yourself, because that's where it all has to start. And through self-compassion, when other people are engaging in activities which is heavy, which is dark, you can still see the light in them, and you can still recognize that without getting caught in what it is that they're doing.
What it is doing.
You don't have to agree with what they're doing.
No, that's conditioning. That's
like
ego.
you know, and if it's harming somebody, your compassion will make you express that. This is such a healing process. It's a part of the Book of Forgiveness by Desmond Tutu. It's like a part of this loving, the power of love is recognizing the person and then recognizing actions that they're doing, and they are separate things. Because if we make them the same person, we say that person's not capable of love, look how nasty they are, we're giving them permission to be that way. But if we go, that person is full of love, that person is the light of God just like me, their actions however are creating harm to themselves and harms to other people, their actions are inappropriate, it creates this energy of responsibility for their actions. And it's really hard to go, that is God, that is love. And it's the same with what you're saying, like, that is evil. Stuff that people do, their actions are evil, but they aren't. But it's really hard. This is the real test of humanity at the moment is, and that's why it's so difficult, because we are so conditioned to segregate things into their boxes, and love and hate are the ends of the polarity when they're not. So that's really, as humanity, what we are needing to do right now is to recognize the poverty, to recognize, the hunger, to recognize the injustice, to recognize the harm, and to still see the love that exists within those people. And it is so hard. But as humanity, we need to do that by healing your inner child. And that's a lifelong lesson. But as you learn those tools and you learn that love for yourself, that's just got a way to wash out in ways that you may not even know. And bringing your hands together and rubbing them. And press palm to palm and place your thumbs at the middle of the chest and do a physical scan of the body. And whatever physical sensations come up, love what arises. And then do a mental scan. And once again, love whatever arises. And that just means that you have a softness when you're aware of something. Have an inner smile and just shine that smile and softness on it. Don't change it, don't alter it. Just love it. Then scan the emotional body. And once again, love what arises. And keep this process going. Having a deep consciousness. Loving things that arise, things that usually you may push aside, things you might usually criticize, things you might try to turn away from. Just smile softly on them and soothe yourself. The intention is set. May I feel the soothing, reassuring power of unconditional love that is the source of all creation. May this flow through every cell of my being more than ever before, for the benefit of all. And exhale.